morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Downshift here. I'm kind of bored. I mean, the scenery's beautiful, but I'm kind of bored. So, delivered last night in Penticton. Dropped Jess off at home. She's gonna stay home this week anyway, and came home halfway through the week, so she stayed at home. Best of both worlds. After I unloaded, I ran empty to Grand Forks, slept there, and loaded first thing in the morning. Steel shot, headed to Tacoma, Washington. So yeah, right now we are southbound on Highway 97, right beside Lake Chelan. On the main Highway 97, not the alternate route. Looking at some of the mansions on the other side of the river. Some poor people live there. Very poor people. Looking at the orchards, it looks like most of the apples have been picked already. So I got a feeling the lime runs are gonna... Actually, the lime runs have come to an end already. Yeah, we'll see if there's another run of lime. I think probably in January or February, as the lime that we have sent to the orchards dwindles down. Hey, I've slept there before where that truck's parked. It's a good place to sleep. I had to climb to the top of that little mountain there to get any cell service, but I missed my stormy weather. That was fun. Today when I was tarping, I was walking along, all of a sudden my shoe's like slippery, and it's like, what do I have underneath my shoe? Did I step in something? Something greasy? It's like, the deck of the trailer is like greasy. What's going on here? Took me 5 or 6 minutes to go, oh, it's frost, thick layer of frost. It's cold enough to be frosted over. It's like, right, that time of year. Slippery doesn't mean greasy or oily. It might mean just slippery from ice. Once I realized, it's like, of course, you dummy, slipping and sliding around on ice. Don't know why it took me 5 or 6 minutes to figure that out. So yeah, we'll take 97 right into or north end of Wenatchee there, and it makes a right-hand turn. We'll go over a bit of a pass there. Do some climbing. Follow 97 right to I-90. Actually, we're gonna go. What is it? 970. There's a small little section where you take Highway 970, which is just 97 with a 0 behind it. To I-90. And then I-90 to, I think it's Highway 18, kind of bypass Spokane. And that'll head right into Tacoma. Should be in Tacoma probably 5:30. I've never been there that early. I hope there's parking for me that early in the night. Or even better yet, they might unload me. Highly unlikely. I'd be there at 5 if it wasn't for my half-hour break I have to legally take. I would prefer to take that half hour at the end of my shift, but American law makes me take a half-hour break. What I don't understand is okay, so in the US you can take 2 hours worth of breaks. You can take them during the day or add them to your end of the shift. In Canada you have to take 2 hours of breaks. Same thing, you have middle of the day anywhere or add them to the end of the shift. In the US you just have to, in that with I guess an hour and a half you can do with what you want, but half an hour has to be somewhere in the middle of your shift. But the shift hours, so in Canada I have to be, my shift hour is 16 hours is the most hours I can put into a shift. So when I go on duty first thing in the morning to when I have to be off duty, no matter how many breaks I've taken, is 16 hours. In the US it's 14 hours. I think. It might be 16 hours too. No, I think it's 14 hours. Yeah, 14 hours. In the US, I'm only allowed to drive for 11 hours, but I can be on duty a whole bunch of more hours. What, another 3 hours I can be on duty? Canada, you only have 1 hour you can be on duty. That doesn't count toward your drive time. So if it takes me 3 hours to load, I have to be on duty loading and tarping. For some reason it takes me 3 hours to do all that on duty. In Canada I lose 2 hours of that into drive time. In the US I only lose, well, I lose none of that into drive time. It'd be all 3 hours would be on duty. I can still drive my 11-hour shift. I don't know, it's complicated. I did figure out something new. I can't rely on my call qualm 100% to keep me within legal driving time. So Canadian law says that I cannot do any driving. So I start my shift at a certain time, and I said 16 hours. I have to have, that shift must end in 16 hours. I cannot even drive off-duty, bobtailing for my personal conveyance after that 16 hours. Which the Qualcomm will not recognize. So if I go off-duty drive, the Qualcomm will let me drive even after the 16 hours. That's something I've never paid attention to before, but I'm going to have to. Because I do off-duty drive every now and then. I did last night. I went to the pickup area, dropped my trailers, and then went off-duty drive, had supper, and returned today morning, attached the trailers, and did my pre-trip, and got loaded. So off-duty drive time would count to my shift. Now US I think is different, because in the US it's unlimited off-duty drive time. Like when you take a reset, you can drive unlimited kilometers in a day off-duty if you want, as long as you're bobtailing. So you can boot around town and do shopping and go to the next town to see a movie, or go to a drive-in. Would you go in a drive-in with a big rig? Oh, that'd be fun. I wonder if they'd even let you in. That'd be fun. In Canada, we can only drive 70 kilometers or 75 kilometers off-duty in one day. So, what are we going to get loaded with tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday. Gotta get home. They wouldn't send me all the way to Spokane, because that would mean I'd have to deliver on Saturday morning, and that wouldn't work. So I'm not going to do that running empty like I have a couple times, like I did on Tuesday. Let me think. Only real options, I think, are to send me down to Portland, pick up a load there that goes to Nelsner Trail, and I stop in Penticton for the weekend. Or send me back up to Vancouver and get a load that goes to Nelsner Trail. Same thing, spend the weekend in Penticton. That is, I think, what will happen. One of those two. Running empty down to Portland, or running empty up back to Vancouver. Or I could get a weekend run. That is a possibility. Haven't had one of those in a long time, so I think I would say yes to that. Especially if it went to a location I haven't been to in a long time, or a new location, even better. Not much for clouds today. Pretty blue sky. Certainly makes the chillier outside. Although it's warmed up a bit now. It's plus 15 Celsius. that pickup is hauling a full-size salt truck. That I have not seen before. The pickup was probably a 350. Or that size, 3/4 ton. Or it might have been a ton truck too. I didn't even look what name brand the pickup was. So the equivalent to a 350 if it was a different name brand. Or a ton truck. Probably a ton truck. Disguised as a pickup. Those do exist. Not very common, but they do exist. That orchard got torn up. Those apples are still hanging on the trees. The whole orchard's full of apples. Nice red apples. Well, same with one on my left-hand side here. Both sides have apples, so yeah, lots of apples in there. Must be a different kind of apple that matures a little later in the year. Yeah, why not? Plant different breeds of apples so that your labor force doesn't have to pick all the apples at the exact same time. Yeah, lots of apples here still. Interesting. Alright guys, I'm gonna let you guys go since I'm bored. I'm just rambling on. About half an hour from Wenatchee. Got on the power lines there. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. See if my prediction is right. Vancouver or Portland. Thanks for watching. Hit the thumbs up and ask me anything. Anything. Family friendly anyway. See you tomorrow.